Okay.
Hi guys, today we're going to be doing some really cool drawing. We're going to be doing some perspective drawing. So this is an introduction to perspective. Our objective today is going to be that I can identify and illustrate concepts. Our concept today is perspective. Now, we're going to hit a couple of teaks today because as you know with the art teaks, sometimes we can hit more than one. So for Art 1, this class, you're going to hit 1A, 2A, and 2C. It's like you guys are already experts in art, right? No, I'm just kidding. So today you're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, and a straight edge. Now, if you have a ruler, that is obviously a great straight edge to have. But if you're anything like me, you misplace things around your house. I did. And so instead of finding mine, I actually cut a piece from a box where it has that nice straight edge from a box. You could also use a piece of paper, something like that. You're going to see here that I'm going to be using a box for our illustration. If you have a small box, that's great. If not, you can just pause this video and use what I'm showing you. So you see here I have my nice mask box. It's a small box so you can move it. You don't want anything too heavy in case you're moving it around because then it's going to get too heavy for you when you're trying to draw, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reference back to a previous lesson, and that's going to be for our horizon line. So we're going to start with our horizon line. We're going to draw it across our paper. Remember, the horizon line is what's going to differentiate the space between your sky and your ground if you were looking out across the horizon. My straight edge, I'm still not holding very straight. Sorry, guys. It's okay. So we're going to do that, and we're going to have our vanishing point. So normally in a video here, I would pause and ask the students who remembers what a vanishing point is. And we would talk about remembering our prior knowledge for our horizon line and our vanishing point. In this case, our vanishing point, remember, is your point of view. So that's where your eye is looking, so we can see the perspective of things around where your eye is looking from your peripheral vision. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to draw our boxes in perspective. So in this case, I'm going to start with my box, and I have just a basic rectangle shaped box here, okay? So I'm going to start with 1 point perspective. We're at the 1 vanishing point. We're going to start with one side of our box. So I'm going to draw my rectangle here, and I'm going to start with it above my vanishing point. So I have a basic box, okay? Now with your basic box, if you're looking at it, if I'm looking straight out, and I hold my box up to here, I'm going to see other sides of my box. You can't only see the front of a box, right? We're trying to draw this in perspective. What other parts of the box would we see? So here's where I would pause and ask what other sides of the box they see. It should be pretty easy. We can see the side closest to our vanishing point, and we can see the bottom because we're holding it above the horizon line. It's in the sky here. So what I'm going to do is I need to draw my side that's closest to the vanishing point, and I need to draw my bottom. Now, in this case, these sides, if you were looking from very far away, if you had somebody hold this for you, you're going to notice they're not perfectly straight lines. If you lined up your straight edge, you're going to see that they're eventually all pointing towards your horizon line. So if I picked a horizon line out here, I can line up my straight edge or my pencil, and I can see that these lines are going to converge. They're going to eventually hit together at my vanishing point. So in this case, when we're drawing, that means we're going to line them up to our vanishing point. So I know I have the bottom of my box. We just discovered that. I'm going to draw my lines. If it helps, you can draw it all the way to the vanishing point because you should be using your pencil. We can erase lines later. The bottom of my box will come from both corners of the bottom. I'm going to line up all the way to my vanishing point. Now, obviously, my box doesn't go on forever. It doesn't go into infinity to my vanishing point, right? So when I look at my box, I'm holding it up again. I have my side, it's up. I can see that it's moving a certain distance. Now later we'll talk about how to calculate that distance, but right now we're just doing an estimate, okay? This is basics, you don't have to make it perfect yet, okay? So I'm going to make my box, it's going to have a straight line. Now this line, when I hold up my box, is actually parallel to my horizon based on how I'm holding this. So that parallel line here from the bottom of my box, it's still parallel. If you hold it, you'll notice that line is still parallel. You can put up your straight edge to check those lines. Okay? We're going to do the same thing with the side of the box. Sorry, I just put it down. So, remember, we're holding it up here. The side of my box is going to be coming out as well. So here's where I'm going to pick the corner. I'm going to line it up to my vanishing point. Always line up to your vanishing point and draw my line. Now, if the bottom of this box was parallel on both parts, what do we think is going to happen with the side? Pause for answer. Then that's right, it's going to be parallel as well. Since this is a vertical line, it's going to be a vertical line at the end. Now my end of my box should match the bottom of my box. It's not an irregular box, it's a regular box. I can see these corner matches up just the same. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line up from here. Now at this point, I can erase these extra lines, that invisible infinity line that we were seeing where we saw the lines were coming down to the vanishing point. So I'm going to erase this line, okay? Is everybody ready? Okay. We're going to erase this line here to see our floating box. Now, if I was holding a box and I was drawing a picture of me holding the box, of course I'd draw my hand around it. But we would still have this box in perspective. So let's view our box one more time and make sure we have it correct. Does that look right? Perfect. So if I'm doing this with the top, if I'm holding it above my eye line, I see the bottom of my box. So let's think about how this is going to translate if I was to hold it below my eye line. Would I still see the bottom of my box? No, I can't see the bottom of my box, right? It's hidden. It's under my eye line. Instead, my eye line is now drawn to the top of the box. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Let's do this one again together. I want you guys to try to follow along. We're going to move a little faster this time, okay? So we're going to draw our box shape. Okay? And we talked about this time, since it's under my eye line, I can see the top of my box. I can still see the side of my box that is closest to my vanishing point. So I'm going to take the top of my box. I'm going to get my straight edge here. And I'm going to line it up to my vanishing point. So make sure that you guys are following along and you are lining up your two top corners here to the vanishing point. Remember, you can pause the video and rewind it if you have issues with this. If you're rewatching it there, or you can rewatch it later when we're not live, you can always come back and do this. It's not a big deal. These recordings are going to stay up. So I have the top of my box, and I still have the side of my box that's closest to my vanishing point. I did not wear a watch. I have no idea how long this is. Okay? Now we're using that same property that we did before, where we know this box lines here are parallel. So the bottom of my box is still going to have a horizontal line. It's still sitting, even when it's down here, the top of my box is still sitting parallel. As long as I'm holding this parallel to my horizon line, wherever I move it, these two lines are going to be straight horizontal, okay? So I'm going to draw my horizontal lines. Remember, we're not making perfect, we're not measuring it out right now. We're just getting these basic ideas. So don't stress if yours doesn't look perfect. You're trying to make a horizontal line. Now, just like before, our side lines here are vertical. So we want to do a vertical line that's parallel to our vertical line. We're getting vertical line here. And it's going to be our box from a different angle. So now we have a box above our horizon line and a box below our horizon line. Now, these are just the basics here, okay? Once we learn to build this, we can start building interior rooms, we can start building dogs, we can build all kinds of great things in perspective. But we have to get these box shapes first because they're the easiest. So we want to practice these. So right now, what I want you to do is I want you to practice making some boxes. So let's think for a minute about what Miss Luker's done here. We have two boxes on the left side of our vanishing point. We have a box above the horizon line. We have a box below the horizon line. Right now, if you are most comfortable, you can try building another box on this left side. If you think you really have it, I think you should try building one on the right. Now, in this case, if I'm building one on the right, I know I'm still going to start with the face of my box, but there might be a different side of the box showing. So what I want you to do, in your time here, I want you to think about if the box is on this side, which sides we saw and which sides we drew, versus if the box is on this side, I'm going to hold it so you can see, which sides can you see of this box that we would be drawing to line up to the horizon line. So you're going to have to find your corners and go to the horizon line. Now we're going to look at these in a minute. You're going to have a few minutes to draw this, and we're going to look at them together. And then we're going to work on some fancier ones where we can try in the middle. But right now, we're just going to focus on left. If you're brave, trying right. And I want you to try to draw 2 more boxes for me, okay? You're going to have 10 minutes to draw 2 more boxes for me. And then we're going to reconvene and talk about what we just did. Sound good, guys? All right, if you have questions, type it in the comment. Otherwise, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.